Hello and welcome my dear students. This is Rohan sir from Mehdi English Medium School and I welcome my second standard students to today's English class. My dear little champs, I hope that you have been following my videos, you have been watching it again and again and you have been also enjoying it. Also, I always ask you to watch the videos on the regular basis so that you don't miss out anything which is of great importance, because this is the only source of studies nowadays till the situation again gets back to the normal. So it is very much necessary for you all to watch the videos regularly. So my dear students, let us see first what are we going to do today in today's lecture. Today I am going to ask you to write the objectives. So while I am explaining you the objectives, please take out your rough book and pencil. I repeat, while I am explaining you what are we going to do and how are we going to do in today's lesson, I request you all to take a rough notebook and a pencil along with you. So I am just explaining you, till then you just take out your books and also listen to me at the same time. So what are we going to do today? Objectives of lesson number 3. Students, you might be knowing that for lesson number 1 I have already given you the objectives and the subjectives. So, and you know that after lesson number 1 I directly explained you lesson number 3 and also poem number 2. But we are going to go in this order, that we are going to first finish the lessons and then the poem. So that is why I have directly jumped on to lesson number 3. So my dear students, I hope that you have taken out your books. So in today's lesson we are going to understand and write fill in the blanks, meanings, and give one word for lesson number 3. So in this lecture, though I'll give you 2 to 3 seconds for meanings and more time for FB, make sure that FB questions are already there in your textbooks. I repeat, fill in the blanks questions of lesson number 3 are already there in your textbooks. So even if you cannot write questions, nothing to worry about, because either you have textbook and you will get the questions, or if you don't have textbooks, I have given you PDF files in your WhatsApp groups. From that also you can jot down the questions of lesson number 3 FB. So don't worry about the FB questions, you will get it from either of these ways. And meanings and give one word I have bifurcated from the textbook itself and given to you. Make sure to write the maximum thing from this lesson and I'll give you the time accordingly. So without wasting our time, let us start lesson number 3, Jack and the Beanstalk, meanings. Number 1. See students, I will repeat each meaning and give one word 3 times. You are also going to repeat after me 3 times and write it 1 time while you are repeating itself. Number 1, overnight. I hope you are repeating and writing. Number 1, overnight. Answer is for one night. Repeat it 2nd time. Overnight. For one night. 3rd time, overnight. Repeat it, for one night. See, this way you are going to repeat, and along with repeating you are going to even write it in your book 1 time. Please don't write 3 times, just write 1 time, but repeat 3 times. Number 2, sprung. Answer is grew. See, necessarily you don't have to write this brackets, because here means in this lesson sprung means grew. Otherwise, sprung has many more meanings in English dictionary. So here it means grew. So that is why here is there to for your understanding that grew means sprung in this lesson. Okay, so repeat it second time and keep on writing. Sprung. Answer, grew. One more time. Sprung, grew. If you remember, the bean seed sprung and became beanstalk. Moving on. Third one. Keep on writing and speaking with me, please. Repeat after me. Tremble. Answer is shake. Tremble. Repeat it, please. Tremble. Shake. One more time. Tremble. Shake. I hope that you have also written it. So if you remember the story, that when the giant entered the house started trembling and the sound like thump was coming from the floor. So moving on. Fourth one, delight. Keep repeating and writing. Delight. Answer is very happy. Second time, delight. Very happy. Repeat it one last time. Delight. Very happy. See, by repeating these 3 times and writing it once, even you will be able to remember at least 3 or 4 meanings by heart just within the just till the end of the lecture. Okay, moving on. Fifth one, harp. See, necessarily the meaning which have long answers, they are not necessarily give one word. You need to understand which is meaning and which is give one word. Give one word means you give one word for that full sentence explanation, isn't it so? But this line says the meaning of particular word. So keep repeating and write the meaning as it is long. Write it. Harp, a type of a musical instrument. Please don't misspell it. Write the spellings correctly. Second time, harp, a type of a musical instrument. Third time, harp, a type of a musical instrument. So if you remember that golden harp, my dear students, which giant was having, and that golden harp sang and played the music on its own, only on the command of giant. So that is the golden harp, and that is a kind of musical instrument, the picture of which I already showed you. Even harp, the picture will be there in the textbook if you have textbook, and if not, you can see in the PDF file of textbook which is there in your group. So harp, a type of musical instrument. Moving on. Now lesson number 3, the Jack and the Beanstalk. Give one word. So be ready to write it, as the questions of given word usually are bit lengthier compared to the meanings. Number 1, see, as soon as you see the question on your screen, keep writing, start writing. I'll just repeat and you just have to repeat the answers of given word. I repeat, you just have to repeat the answers of given word, not the questions. Okay, so you'll get the time to write. Thought about something to get more details about it. I repeat the question. Thought about something to get more details about it. I'll display the answer now. Wondered. I'll repeat this 2 more times so you'll get time to write. Thought about something to get more details about it. Answer is wondered. See, spelling should be correct. If you are writing, please write it with just look onto the screen, look at the spellings. You don't know, don't try to write on it on your own if you don't remember the spellings. I'll repeat it last time. Thought about something to get more details about it. The answer is wondered. Okay, I hope that you are repeating the answers and you were writing it, and I hope that you have written it 1 time. Moving on to second given word. The stem of a bean plant. I repeat the question. The stem of a bean plant. Now let me display the answer. Beanstalk. Okay, I'll repeat it 2 more times so that you can write it easily in your books 1 time. Also, try to repeat the answers after me. The stem of a bean plant. Answer is beanstalk. I shall repeat it last time. The stem of a bean plant. Repeat the answer after me. Beanstalk. So the story was whole on beanstalk, how it grew and how the Jack climbed it twice and brought the precious things up from the sky from some giant's house. And this story was on imaginary, so never you will get beanstalk such tall as you saw in the story that will reach up to sky. That is just imaginary, that is just fantasy. You can't get it in real. No matter how long the plant will be, how long the trees will be, but it will not touch the sky. Third one, a step outside a house. I repeat the question. A step outside a house. So the answer is doorstep. Okay, I'll repeat it 2 times so that you can write it with good handwriting and easily once. Try to repeat the answers after me. A step outside a house. Answer is doorstep. A step outside a house. Doorstep. If you remember the story, the tall woman, giant's wife, was standing near the doorstep. If you remember that when the Jack for the first time went up to the sky climbing that beanstalk, isn't it so? So this is from that. If you have not understood that what is doorstep in the story, here is the meaning. So now you should understand where the tall woman was standing for the first time when Jack went up to the beanstalk. I hope you have written it. Fourth one, kept saying the same thing. Okay, I repeat the question. Kept saying the same thing. So the answer is insisted. Okay, so I'll repeat it 3 times so that at least you can write it properly. See the spelling, each and every spelling. Please write the correct spellings. Kept saying the same thing. Answer is insisted. I hope that you are repeating the answers after me, students. Kept saying the same thing. Answer is insisted. And I shall repeat it one more time. Kept saying the same thing. So the answer is insisted. If you remember, the Jack insisted for getting the breakfast. He insisted that he wanted the breakfast to the tall woman, even though tall woman warned him that her husband would be coming at any time. He is giant and he likes to eat small children, and etc. etc. Still, Jack was insisting to have the breakfast first and then to leave the house. So, insisted. Okay, moving on. Fifth one, moved quietly and slowly. So, Jack moved quietly and slowly for the second time when he was entering to the giant's house. Answer is crept. Try to write it as fast as possible. I'll repeat it 2 times. Moved quietly and slowly. Answer is crept. I hope that you are repeating the answers. Again, last time, moved quietly and slowly. Answer is crept. So the Jack crept inside the house as soon as he saw the tall woman went out to get the water. If you remember, the second time he went up, that scene. So if you understood the story, you will be able to remember this meaning immediately. So that is why, to understand the meaning and the story, both are important. So I hope that you have written this. Sixth one, here a sound made by the falling of the heavy giant. So in this lesson, this is the meaning. So that is why here is written. I repeat the question and then I'll show you the answer. A sound made by the falling of the heavy giant. See the spelling of falling, heavy, giant, everything should be correct. So here the answer is third. Okay, I'll repeat it 2 more times. A sound made by the falling of the heavy giant. Answer is third. One more time I shall repeat it. A sound made by the falling of the heavy giant. Answer is third. See students, by repeating the answer, you will get to know what the correct answer, what the correct pronunciation is. Correct? Though you are going to get the theory part in the PDF format in your groups, still if you try to write it from here, from the video lecture, you will be able to enhance your skills of speed and handwriting as well. I hope that you have written this as I have repeated and explained you, and I have given you ample of time to write this. Moving on. Now, moving on to lesson number 3, fill in the blanks. Here, like I said, you try to write the questions, but if you are not able to write full questions, you don't have to worry about it. Your questions are there itself in the textbook. Even if you don't have textbook, I have given you PDF file of textbook. There, the questions are there in the exercise part after lesson gets over. So, try to repeat the answers 3 times along with me and write question and answer both. Answers are must to be written, but if you are able to write questions, it is like very good and it is excellent thing for you. Number 1, every morning Jack carried the milk to dash to sell. I repeat the question. Every morning Jack carried the milk to the dash to sell. Answer is market. If you remember, he carried the milk daily to the market and he sold that, and then he earned daily. This is how they were surviving. So repeat the answer after me. every morning Jack carried the milk to the market to sell. Repeat it one more time so that you will be having sufficient time to write. Every morning Jack carried the milk to the market to sell. So even if you remember the story, you will be easily able to answer this even if I have not given the answer, because you know the only thing which he was doing daily in the morning in the starting of the lesson is selling the milk which they got from the cow and etc etc. So this is the answer. Moving on to the second question. The old man gave bean dash to Jack for his cow. So here how many beans are not asked. If it was so, the blank would be before the bean, but here the blank is after the bean. I repeat the question. The old man gave bean dash to Jack for his cow. So if you remember that when the Jack was going to market, when he was on his way to market to sell the cow, he saw an old man. An old man even called Jack by his name. By listening to what Jack was really startled that how this man is able to remember my name. So the old man gave bean dash. So the old man wanted to exchange the cow with what? With bean what? If you remember, it was 5 exactly in the number, correct? So the old man gave bean dash to Jack for his cow. So the correct answer is seeds. See student, this is how when I explain you, try to write the questions. It will be very much useful to like for enhancing your speed skills in writing. So repeat the answer after me. The old man gave bean seeds to Jack for his cow. Repeat it one more time. The old man gave bean seeds to Jack for his cow. Okay, so bean seeds, it's too easy. If you have heard me, if you have watched the videos of explanation, this was just a piece of cake for you, like to give this answer. It is too easy, isn't it so? Okay, I hope that many of you have even written this. The active students will write this, I know that. Moving on, third question, third FB. Jack jumped on the desk and climbed it to reach the sky. I repeat the question first and let me explain it to you. Jack jumped on the desk and climbed it to reach the sky. So how did Jack reach the sky? Obviously the seeds which, if you remember the story, the seeds which the old man gave, he told Jack that if you will plant these seeds, overnight it will grow up and up till the sky, till it reaches the sky. So, and when the Jack brought the seeds to home, what happened? His mother was not at all happy with those seeds, because his mother expected a whole lot of amount of money, because the cow was too much precious and beautiful, and cow is also expensive. So his mother was very much disappointed. So when she was disappointed, she saw the seeds, she took it, she snatched it from Jack's hand and threw it out of the window. Isn't it so? So, and when in the morning Jack woke up, he saw a big beanstalk, a large beanstalk, which reached up to the sky. So the old man's promise was not in vain, it was true, correct? So on which thing did he climb, did he jump? Obviously on the beanstalk. Only then he was able to reach to sky. Okay, so now repeat the answer after me. Jack jumped on the beanstalk and climbed it to reach the sky. I hope you are repeating, students. Repeat it one more time. Jack jumped on the beanstalk and climbed it to reach the sky. See, I have explained you a lot. I repeated twice, so there is a lot of sufficient time for you to write the questions and answers as well. And I know that you are not too dumb to write it, or you are not too dumb that you cannot write it with a lot of time. Okay. Fourth is, the giant's wife gave Jack dash and dash for breakfast. It is too simple question. What was provided to Jack for the breakfast? Just think over it. It was even there in the question answers, in the extra questions which I gave you. If you remember the counter questions, correct? I already gave you the hint how to remember this. Anyways, the answer is milk and cheese. Okay, these are the things which giant's wife gave Jack. Okay, now repeat the answer after me. The giant's wife gave Jack milk and cheese for breakfast. Repeat it one more time. The giant's wife gave Jack milk and cheese for breakfast. Correct? So this is what you should remember. You should not forget it, because this was there. If you understand the story, if you understand the sequence, if you remember the sequence, each and everything is from the chronological order. What happened next, and so on. So that is why when I explain you the story, I always ask you to carefully pay attention and listen to the explanation, because if you listen to it carefully, then you don't have to mug up the answers. At least half of the chapter will be on the tip of your tongue. So always make sure that whenever I ask you, whenever I instruct you certain things, that is for your benefit and not mine. This also, if you try to write, see the FB, it is not too long. Just think it that you will be able to write. See, when I am explaining, it is the golden opportunity for you to write the questions and answers at the same time. Correct? Okay, moving on to fifth one. When the giant said lay, then the hen laid the dashed egg. Let me repeat the question and understand the question. When the giant said lay, then the hen laid the dashed egg. So, what do you think? Iron egg or silver egg? No. If you remember, the giant gave the command lay, and the hen which was there on the table laid the dashed egg. See, again, if you remember the story, you will be able to answer this. Okay, the correct answer is golden. Okay, I'll repeat it 2 times for you to write it down. Just try to repeat it after me. When the giant said lay, then the hen laid the golden egg. See, choice is yours. If you are writing the answer within the blanks, okay. If you are writing the answers like I have written, presented on your screens, that is also okay. It should be readable, legible, that's it. Okay, I'll repeat it one more time. When the giant said lay, then the hen laid the dashed egg, golden egg. Repeat the answer, golden egg. Okay, so I hope that you have written this. Thanks for watching the video, and hope that you have written all the objectives, and soon I'll provide you the PDF. Not to worry if you are not able to write something. So as soon as possible I'll provide you the PDF in your groups. Also, I know many of you have already written everything. because many are genius and I want all the students to be at equal level. There should not no inferiority or superiority, all are equal. And yes, make sure that when you note it down, your spellings are not incorrect, your handwriting should be legible. These are the things I have been repeating it again and again, because now you have the time at your home to write it in your own time. Correct? There is no haste, there is no lack of time for you to write it. So make sure that you maintain your books properly with perfect date and perfect day. With this, students, I hope that you enjoyed today's lecture. I end by today's lecture here, and I will bring the other remaining subjectives and objectives of other lessons in the next lecture. Till then, stay safe, stay home, goodbye.